A blood transfusion is one of the most incredible gifts one person can give another. I mean, it's literally a gift of life. It's a total cornerstone of modern medicine. But what happens when this life-saving gift carries a hidden, invisible danger? How do we make sure that gift stays safe?
This, right here, is the central challenge for blood safety experts all around the world. Every single day, their job is to protect this precious resource from microscopic threats that could turn an act of healing into something really harmful. So, how on earth do they do it?
Well, the official name for these threats is transfusion transmissible infections, or TTIs for short. And what that really means is pretty simple. They're germs, we're talking viruses, bacteria, even parasites, that can basically hitch a ride in donated blood. And if they do, they can cause serious illness or sometimes even death in the person receiving that blood.
Now, to understand how we fight them, we first have to get a handle on what makes these infections such a tough opponent. You see, they're kind of like masters of disguise.
Yeah, these infections are super tricky for a few key reasons. For starters, a donor who is recently infected might feel perfectly fine. I mean, zero symptoms at all. Then there's the fact that symptoms might not show up for months, or in some cases like HIV, even years after they first get infected. And on top of that, some people can become chronic carriers, holding on to an infection for a really long time without ever feeling sick themselves. So as you can see, just asking a donor, hey, how do you feel, is nowhere near enough to guarantee safety. So who are the usual suspects here? Well, around the world, screening programs are laser focused on a core group of offenders. On the viral front, you've got HIV, hepatitis B, and hepatitis C. When it comes to bacteria, the main target is syphilis. And depending on the part of the world, the parasite that causes malaria is also a huge concern. And this really shows you why the stakes are just so incredibly high. The amount of virus in a single unit of blood is massive compared to other ways it can be transmitted. Think about it. A single transfusion from a unit with HIV has about a 95% chance of infecting the person who gets it. 95%. That means there is basically zero room for error. Okay, so this brings us to the single biggest challenge in all of blood screening. It's a concept that is absolutely crucial to understanding the risk. It's called the window period. It's the question you're probably asking right now, right? If we test every single donation, shouldn't the system be totally foolproof? Well, the answer lies in this frustrating race against time, a race between when a donor gets infected and when our best tests can actually see that infection. And that is the window period. It's this dangerous gap in time where a donor's blood can transmit the disease, but the signs of infection are still at such low levels that they're invisible to our screening tests. The blood test's negative, but the danger is still very much there. This timeline really shows how that race plays out. So imagine day 0 is when a donor gets infected. For those first few days, they can pass on the virus, but every test would come back negative. The very first then we can possibly detect is the virus's genetic material, its DNA or RNA. A little while after that, proteins from the virus itself, which we call antigens, start to show up. And finally, weeks later, our body's own immune response, the antibodies, become detectable. The whole goal of modern testing is to shrink this window as much as humanly possible by looking for those earliest possible signs. So, how do these tests actually work? You can think of it like being a detective at a biological crime scene, and you're looking for different kinds of clues. The tests are basically designed to find one of three things. The most direct evidence, the smoking gun, is the nucleic acid, the virus's actual DNA or RNA. It's like finding the criminal's DNA right at the scene. The next clue are antigens. These are proteins made by the virus. You can think of those as the criminal's footprints. And the final clue, which shows up the latest, is antibodies. That's the alarm system our own body creates to fight back. It's like finding a wanted poster that our immune system put up. Now, we use different technologies to find these clues. You've got rapid tests, which kind of work like a home pregnancy test. They're fast, great for emergencies, but they have the longest window period. Then there's ELISA tests. These are the workhorses for screening huge numbers of donations efficiently. But the real gold standard, the game changer for safety, is NAT, nucleic acid testing. By looking directly for the virus's genetic code, NAT slams that dangerous window period shut. For HIV, it can take the window from over 20 days all the way down to just 7. It's our most powerful tool for sure. But here's the thing, lab testing, even with a powerhouse like NAT, is only one piece of the puzzle. Real blood safety is a much, much bigger system than that. It's not about finding one single magic bullet. It's all about building multiple layers of defense, where every single step helps reduce the risk just a little bit more. In fact, a lot of the most important safety measures happen long before the blood ever sees the inside of a laboratory.
This whole defense system starts with the donor themselves. Encouraging low-risk, repeat, voluntary donors is the single most effective step because they are, statistically, the safest group of people. Next, when the blood is collected, the arm is meticulously cleaned to keep skin bacteria from getting in. Then, a special diversion pouch is used to catch and throw away the first little bit of blood, which is the part most likely to have any contaminants from the skin. And finally, even after all that, every single unit is visually inspected for anything that looks off, like discoloration, before it's ever released. So you see, all these layers, from picking the right donors all the way to the most advanced lab tests, they all work together. It's this comprehensive system designed to make blood as safe as we can possibly make it, and the science is always getting better. And when we look to the future, even more safety layers are being added. We're talking about advanced methods like filtering out white blood cells, which can carry certain viruses, and even developing technologies that can actively kill any pathogens right in the blood unit. And maybe the most important thing of all is that doctors are getting smarter about only giving transfusions when they are absolutely 100% necessary, which is, of course, the ultimate safety measure.
You know, as the National Blood Transfusion Council puts it, the whole process, from screening to quarantining to testing, is a series of critical checkpoints. It's a system that's built on procedure, on precision, and on a relentless commitment to one single goal, making sure every drop of blood is safe for the patient who needs it.
And that really leads to a final thought. The world is constantly changing. New viruses and new pathogens are always emerging. This incredible system that we've just walked through is a testament to decades of scientific progress. But the work is never really done. The next challenge is always just over the horizon, and you can be sure the science of blood safety will have to be ready to evolve and meet it.